Have you ever wondered how a baby can breathe while floating in the womb, surrounded by water? How does this tiny being get all the oxygen it needs without taking a single breath of air? It sounds almost magical, doesn't it? In the next few minutes, we're going to unveil the astonishing process of how babies breathe in the womb and how they're preparing for their very first breath after they're born. Get ready to explore one of nature's most remarkable phenomena. If you're curious about more such wonders of pregnancy, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible content. Let's get started. The role of the placenta. The placenta is an incredible organ unique to pregnancy. Think of it as a highly efficient trading post between the mother and the baby. It attaches to the wall of the uterus, and the baby's umbilical cord arises from it, creating a lifeline between the mother and the developing baby. But what does the placenta do? It serves as the baby's lungs, kitchen, and waste disposal system all in one. It provides oxygen and nutrients and removes waste products from the baby's blood. Oxygen transfer is especially fascinating. The mother's blood carries oxygen from her lungs to the placenta. Here's where the magic happens. Oxygen passes from the mother's blood into the placenta and then travels through the umbilical cord directly into the baby's bloodstream. It's not just oxygen. Essential nutrients and antibodies also make this journey. To make it easier to understand, imagine the placenta as a sponge soaking up nutrients and oxygen from the mother's blood. These vital supplies are then sent along a tube, the umbilical cord, directly into the baby's belly button, fueling growth and development. Fetal hemoglobin. Fetal hemoglobin is a special type of hemoglobin found in unborn babies. Hemoglobin is the protein in our blood that carries oxygen, and the fetal version is perfectly designed to help babies while they're still growing in the womb. What makes fetal hemoglobin remarkable is its ability to grab and hold on to oxygen more tightly than the adult version found in you and me. Why is this important? Well, inside the womb, babies aren't breathing air. Instead, they need to get oxygen from their mother's blood. Fetal hemoglobin's strong grip on oxygen allows it to effectively pull oxygen from the mother's blood when it passes through the placenta. This ensures that the baby gets enough oxygen to develop properly. Think of it like a game of tug-of-war. Fetal hemoglobin is like a very strong player who can pull oxygen towards itself more effectively than adult hemoglobin can. This means even in the low oxygen environment of the womb, the baby can still get all the oxygen it needs to grow healthy and strong. Have you ever felt your baby's first breath, and what were your feelings afterward? What other topics would you like to learn more about? Please let us know in the comments below. The breathing movements. Even though babies in the womb are surrounded by amniotic fluid instead of air, they start to practice breathing long before they are born. These practice sessions are known as breathing movements. It might sound strange since there's no air in the womb for the baby to breathe, but these movements are a crucial part of lung development. From around 10 weeks into pregnancy, babies begin to make rhythmic, breathing-like movements. They inhale and exhale amniotic fluid. These motions are not for getting oxygen, since all the oxygen needed comes through the placenta, but they are essential for developing the lungs. Why are these movements necessary? The lungs of the unborn baby are filled with fluid during pregnancy. By moving this fluid in and out, the baby's chest muscles and diaphragm, the main muscle used in breathing, get a critical workout. This helps these muscles to strengthen and prepares them for breathing air after birth. Imagine a baby's first cry at birth. It's powerful and loud. This is possible because those practice breaths in the womb helped develop the lungs and the muscles around them. Without these prenatal exercises, a baby's lungs and muscles wouldn't be ready to start working at birth. Amniotic fluid and lung development. Amniotic fluid is not just the water in which the baby floats during pregnancy. It plays a crucial role in the development of the baby's lungs. This fluid, which surrounds the baby in the womb, is essential for proper lung development before birth. As early as the second trimester, babies begin to breathe this fluid in and out. While it may seem odd to think of a baby breathing fluid, these movements are vital for the growth and maturation of the lungs. The process works somewhat like a rehearsal for real breathing after birth. Each time the baby inhales amniotic fluid, it helps the lungs to stretch and grow. This is crucial because fully developed lungs are needed for breathing air once the baby is born. Consider this simple analogy. Think of a balloon that's never been inflated. Initially, it's tough and tight, but as you stretch it by inflating it a few times, the balloon becomes easier to blow up and more flexible. Similarly, when a fetus breathes in amniotic fluid, it helps stretch the lungs, making them more capable of expanding and contracting once they need to breathe air. Moreover, the presence of amniotic fluid in the lungs also stimulates the production of surfactant. This substance is critical because it prevents the tiny air sacs in the lungs from sticking together once they start to inflate with air after birth. Without surfactant, the baby's first breaths would be much harder, and the air sacs could collapse. Preparing for birth. Preparing for birth is like getting ready for a big debut. For a baby, this means making sure their body, especially their lungs, are ready to work on their own once they're outside the womb. As the big moment approaches, the baby's respiratory system undergoes significant changes to prepare for that first, vital breath. During pregnancy, the baby's lungs are filled with fluid, and they receive oxygen through the placenta. However, as birth gets closer, the lungs must get ready to exchange this fluid for air. This transition begins with the production of a substance called surfactant. Surfactant is crucial because it helps keep the air sacs in the lungs open, allowing the lungs to fill with air and not collapse once the baby starts to breathe on their own. Just before birth, the baby's body also increases its physical movements, which helps push the fluid out of the lungs. During delivery, especially in a natural birth, the physical pressure of passing through the birth canal helps squeeze out even more of this fluid from the baby's lungs. The first breath. The first breath a baby takes after birth is not just a simple inhale, it's one of the most significant adjustments in a newborn's life. This breath marks a dramatic transition from receiving oxygen through the placenta to breathing air through the lungs. At birth, a baby's lungs are filled with fluid, which was essential for lung development in the womb. With the first cries, this fluid begins to clear from the baby's air passages, and air starts to fill the lungs. This process is helped by changes in pressure and a substance called surfactant, which helps the lungs' air sacs stay open. Let's consider an example to make this clearer. Imagine a new sponge, still sealed in its packaging, somewhat compressed and airless. When you first open the package and expose the sponge to air, it expands as it fills. Similarly, a newborn's lungs, once exposed to air, expand as they fill with their first breaths. The chest rises and falls, and with each breath, more of the remaining fluid is either absorbed into the body or expelled, and the lungs start to function fully. This first breath sets the stage for all future breaths a person will take in their lifetime. It's a complex, instinctive response that involves many body systems working together, signaling the remarkable capability of the human body to adapt and thrive right from the first moment of life. Each step is meticulously designed to prepare the baby for life outside the womb. It's a perfect blend of nature's precision and wonder. If you're fascinated by the wonders of early human development, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help spread the awe and knowledge. So, the next time you hear a newborn's first cry, remember the incredible journey those little lungs have already undertaken, making that powerful moment possible.